The Vanishing Flower Tea. Oh my goodness, I think I've encountered a parallel universe. A bottle of flower tea I took out mysteriously disappeared. But when I got home, I found it sitting exactly where I had taken it from. I just checked the security footage, and I definitely took it with me. I do believe in parallel universes, and I've been seeing angel numbers recently. I remember the last time I frequently saw angel numbers was right before the mask incident and lockdown in Shanghai. I've experienced some supernatural events since childhood, but this is the first time involving a physical object. Here's what happened. On the afternoon of August 9th, my husband and I were taking our son to class. My husband took the elevator down first to start the car, while my son and I left together. I grabbed a half-finished bottle of flower tea from my study desk, and before leaving, I saw a bottle of Wong Lo Cat and a lime drink on the piano, so I grabbed the Wong Lo Cat too. In the elevator, my son asked, "Didn't you already take a bottle?" referring to the flower tea. I said that bottle was half empty because Mom had drunk from it. The Wong Lo Cat was for Dad. Later at our destination, Dad went in with our son first. I was a bit hungry and wanted to get something to eat, so I drove to a nearby convenience store for some cookies. Back in the car, I was thirsty and wanted a drink, but couldn't find the flower tea. I thought maybe Dad had taken it with him. I drove back to the class location and met up with Dad, asked if he had taken my flower tea inside. Dad said he only took the Wong Lo Cat. I asked if he had seen my flower tea. He said he didn't know. Where did my flower tea go? I didn't think too much about it, consoling myself that I must have dropped it somewhere, like maybe it fell out when they got out of the car. Here's where things got strange. When we got home after class, I saw that half-finished bottle of flower tea right there on my study desk, even in the exact same position. At this point, I seriously thought I was confused, wondering if I was too tired these days and remembered wrong, that maybe I never took the flower tea out at all. I tried to reassure myself while finishing the remaining tea, but I remembered so clearly my son even asked about the flower tea in the elevator. I went to confirm our elevator conversation with my son, and he was also certain I had the flower tea, along with the Wong Lo Cat. I was still somewhat doubtful, wondering if my son was just going along with what I said to please me. The matter would have ended there, as I've been busy these past few days, and hadn't thought much about it until today, when I saw my sister's Red Note post about her encounter with a parallel universe. I couldn't hold back anymore. I immediately went to check the security footage. And sisters, who can understand this? The footage clearly shows I left with 2 bottles, 1 half-finished flower tea and 1 Wong Lo Cat. So here's the question. When did that flower tea disappear? How was it still on my desk when we got home? Did we cross into a parallel universe when we returned home?
This happened last August. Because it was so bizarre, I've told several people about it, but still can't make sense of it. I was unemployed at the time, staying at home every day. My mom worked the night shift, and I usually made dinner. She would eat after waking up and then go to work. That day was extremely hot, and it started drizzling around dinner time, making it even more humid. I was washing vegetables in the kitchen with mixed grain porridge cooking in the rice cooker. When I was about to cut vegetables, I realized we were out of flatbread. My brother was playing on his phone in the living room, so I asked him to run across the street to buy 2 wen worth of flatbread. He said he'd go after finishing his game round, and I said okay, then continued cutting vegetables. Soon after, I heard my brother opening the drawer to get some change, knowing he was about to leave. I specifically told him it was raining outside, to take an umbrella and be careful crossing the road. He opened his umbrella and said, "Okay," while walking out. I heard him open and close the front door, then went back to what I was doing. But after I finished preparing and cooking the vegetables for quite a while, my brother still hadn't returned. Such a short distance should only take 2 minutes round trip, but it had been almost 10 minutes. While stirring the vegetables with the spatula, steam rising in my face, I couldn't help but worry. What if something happened while he was crossing the road? My thoughts spiraled, and despite the heat, my back broke out in cold sweat. It felt exactly like those times when he was little, and I'd take him out to play, turn around, and suddenly couldn't find him anywhere. When that possibility crossed my mind, my heart was pounding, and I felt like the veins in my forehead were about to burst from tension. I quickly finished stir-frying the vegetables, plated them, and was about to go look for him. Just then, the front door suddenly opened from outside, and my mom came in, with 2 yuan worth of flatbread in her hand. Huh? What? I was shocked and asked my mom when she went out. She said she left while I was cooking, called out to me, but I didn't respond. So she just went to buy the flatbread. I said I hadn't heard anything at all. Our front door is made of metal alloy and makes a very loud sound when opened or closed. Mom said she didn't know why I hadn't heard. She just woke up early today, and after washing up, remembered we needed flatbread and went to buy some. I asked about my brother. I clearly asked him to buy it. Why hadn't he returned? Mom said my brother had been in his room playing on his phone the whole time. I was shocked, confused. Later, when my brother came downstairs, I asked him if I had just asked him to buy flatbread across the street and told him to take an umbrella because it was raining. He said no. He'd been in his room the whole time. I really felt like I might be going crazy. What about that cold sweat earlier? Were all those feelings of worry, fear, and my pounding heart fake? Who was I talking to? Reminding them to take an umbrella? My mom usually wakes up right on time. Why did she suddenly wake up early today and randomly go buy flatbread? And why didn't I hear any noise at all? I saw my brother's silhouette through the kitchen window as he passed by with an umbrella, heard the door open. Why does he say he never left his room all afternoon? When I told them about this, they just laughed and said I was making it up, told me to stop talking nonsense. They don't believe me at all. One afternoon, I went downstairs to throw out the trash. When I got downstairs, I saw dark clouds everywhere and a heavy rainstorm. The ground was all wet, not like it had just started raining. There was even a delivery driver in a raincoat walking ahead of me. I was puzzled because when I was at home looking outside, it was sunny with no sign of rain. Since my building is about 200 to 300 meters from the garbage station with no shelter along the way, if it was just light rain, I might have just gone through it to the garbage station. But the rain was really too heavy. So I went back upstairs to get an umbrella. When I came back down, it was bright and sunny outside, and the ground was completely dry. There wasn't any sign that it had rained at all. I broke out in a cold sweat that went straight to the top of my head. I even had a strong feeling that if I had just rushed out to throw the trash and left my building, I might have returned to a different timeline. I never believed in parallel universes until something unexplainable happened last month. One evening in early July, there was a sudden power outage, so my husband, son, and I decided to go for a walk. Before leaving, I distinctly remember closing the floor-to-ceiling blinds on the balcony and turning off both the ceiling fan and light in the balcony room. During our walk, we saw from a distance that all the apartments in our complex had their lights back on, so we headed home. When passing beneath our balcony, I suddenly noticed our balcony blinds were open, and I could see inside clearly. I asked my husband and son, "Did either of you open them?" The ceiling fan was spinning and the light was on too. They both said no. I thought maybe I had remembered wrong, so we went upstairs. But when we got home, there were no lights on. The fan wasn't running and the blinds were tightly closed. I can't explain it at all. And there's no way I could have mistaken someone else's balcony for ours, because our balcony railing is a unique color. While all others are gray, ours is natural wood color.